Hello, you creative maniacs and other red lemons. Alex here with another daily video. Today I'm going to be revealing the biggest and most effective creativity hack that I use in my day-to-day. It's also my most powerful tool that I use to be more productive, to be happier, to be less anxious, to be more focused, to feel more loving towards reality and the world and other people around me, and to feel a general sense of lifted, lighter awareness. And that is not coffee, it's not drugs, it's not, what could it be? It's not scribbling something on a piece of paper to get over creative block, it's exercise. Exercise is something that I always make a point of including in my everyday now. It's no longer a sort of 2 or 3 time a week thing. It really has to be every day, because now that I have experienced the highs that come with plenty of exercise, there's no going back now. There's not a day that goes by when I'm not doing some form of, even if it's just a 10-minute session in the gym, lifting some weights, or going for a swim. It always has the effect of lifting my spirits. And then I always have this amazing creative period, particularly straight after a long swim or a run or a session in the gym lifting weights. I always have a heightened creativity that I always monopolize on. I always take advantage of that period after I've had some exercise, after I've got the blood pumping and I've got more oxygen going into my blood and more oxygen in my brain, which is the key part of exercise, and endorphins have been lifted, and I'm just feeling a general lifted sense of just a heightened awareness and an ability to think more clearly, unlike now, because it's the end of the day and I'm knackered. But I must say that, yeah, factoring in exercise into my day-to-day has benefited my productivity and my creativity and my ability to come up with new ideas and my ability to synthesize ideas that are floating around in my head that would otherwise sort of just be ignoring each other. But when I mix things up and I get breathing heavily and I get the oxygen into the blood, that lifts me up. I feel emotionally better, more happy, but I also feel much more creative. So that is my number one creative hack. But it's also very valuable because for those of you who have trouble with anxiety, or you have moments of where your mood is dropped, like most of us, and you feel flat and you don't feel happy or in the mood for anything, let alone getting in front of the drawing board and painting a picture or being creative in any way. The first thing you need to be doing is exercise in whatever way you are capable of doing it, whatever means you have at your disposal to exercise. It might mean doing some press-ups, it might mean going for a walk around the block, it might mean going for a swim, it might mean going for a run. There are many well-known, well, I can't really think of many at the top of my head, but there are many well-known creative people. Entrepreneurs for sure, there are hundreds of those, but there are lots of creative people who seem to have this incredible output, and then we look a little bit deeper into their lives, their everyday, day-to-day lives, and there's this common theme of exercise that I'm seeing. So Murakami is someone who comes to mind. I can't think of anyone else at the top of my head, but if you go hunting a little bit and you look into some of the lives of particularly productive people, not necessarily creative types, because creatives are often well known for smoking too much and being quite unhealthy, so probably a poor example. But many creatives who have a very prolific output and come up with some really genius work are very often those who go on long runs or go on long walks. Charles Dickens was a huge walker. He did sort of 5 hours of walking a day. So it's this sort of long distance stuff as well that's particularly interesting to me. So certainly a 10-minute to 15-minute session in the gym is great, just sort of wake you up in the morning, but also those longer sessions that really shake out all that nervous energy and really kind of get you into a flow almost. So you're kind of doing the creative work as you are exercising. And it got me thinking today about needing to incorporate exercise into the creative process. So think of yourself as more of a creative athlete in that respect. And I would start, don't allow exercise to be separate or seen as separate to your job, to your creative career. See it as something that you want to be embedding into it, and maybe even, you know, do more than one exercise session in the day. I think this idea of going to the gym once or twice a week is becoming old news now. I think movement and counteracting this very sedentary lifestyle that many of us have adopted is really the way forward, especially if you want to make an impact with your creative skills, and especially if you want to get an unfair advantage over others. I think exercise, especially that kind of long distance stuff, cardio in particular, but also lifting heavy weights. And I think what I'm getting at is actually any form of exercise that pushes you a little bit beyond what is comfortable, that is a stretch, that involves, as you know, as my common motto is, keep growing as a person, and that includes physical. Your lungs need to be growing, your ability to take in oxygen needs to be improving and growing, and your muscles need to be strengthening, because that will feed back into the creative work, not to be taken lightly. So really think about how to factor in more exercise in your everyday, and you'll notice not only the psychological benefits and your ability to handle things that scare you, and you know, if you're a red lemon, you know that I talk about the need to sort of get out of your shell more and get out into the marketplace and meet people and get your name out there. And of course, a lot of fear comes with that, let alone with the creative stuff. But doing the exercise and then feeling that high you get after it is going to help counteract that fear that you get, and it's going to make a lot of what would normally be stressful situations be a lot easier for you, and of course your career is going to no doubt benefit. So think about how to incorporate more exercise into your everyday. I'm very lucky that I've got in Bangkok a gym on the top floor, so I have a very short commute to my gym, and that has helped my work tremendously. And I put out a video yesterday about why I'm so prolific and so productive, at least compared to how I was, with lots of content going out every day. And I would say that a lot of that owes itself to the fact that I have good access to a fitness facility, and I make use of it, and I use it quite intensely every day, or at least sort of five or six times a week. So certainly for well-being and getting over anxieties, exercise is absolute must. If you're wondering why your mood is low and you're feeling flat and you're feeling nervous and you're feeling upset, I mean, exercise is that low-hanging fruit that you need to jump on and get the heart pumping. But then for creativity, it just will open up a whole new frontier of amazing ideas clashing with each other and creating and birthing new, interesting creative insights. And it has been absolutely vital for my ability to come up with deeper ideas that I otherwise wouldn't have touched if I was sort of feeling flat, that comes out of the exercise. So look into other creatives who have associated themselves with a lot of exercise, like Murakami, but give me some other names if you can think of them in the comments below. Some well-known creative minds who exercise and lift weights. Arnold Schwarzenegger is obviously another one. Would love to hear your insights and your results from that research. Let me know who you find. Who are some well-known creative brains who do a lot of exercise. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, tell your friends about it, and get exercising. I'll see you tomorrow.